Okay, so here's the parking lot. You actually have to walk a half a mile uphill on the road to get to the start of the trail. And then here's the trail. So here's the Paiute Pass trail. So I figured like the first night we would just camp at North Lake, like pitch our tent and then go into town and get our food or whatever and then pack it up. And then we have to go over Paiute Pass and come along here, and then we're gonna go up around Mesa Lake up to Wedge, and then I want to go over this pass here. It's called Puppet Pass. It's supposedly pretty hard on this side to get down, and then we would go over here, cross the stream, and even though the high route actually goes like this way, I think it just makes sense to go and find the trail. And then we could either camp down here in this area the first night, or we can keep going on the trail and get down into French Canyon. And I think that at some point down here, you drop below 10,000 feet and you can have a campfire. I think I read that somewhere. The other option is that instead of going over the pass, we can just keep going on the trail, go down into Hutchinson Meadow, and then over here, you can definitely have a campfire. So we could have a campfire down in Hutchinson Meadow, and then we would just pick up the trail here. And this meadow here, it looks really beautiful. So I definitely want to like take a nice break here if we're not able to camp here, which I think it would be really unlikely for us to like make it all the way there on our first night. That would have to be like a second night camp, and then, I really am trying to avoid that. So, but anyway, let's say that we either camp over here, down here somewhere, or we're going to camp, in this area here, like these little lakes here. So then the high route goes up here to Merriam Lake and then over here and goes to Feather Pass. And then the third night, I want to stay this is either the second or third night. I can't even think straight right now. But that night, I want to be in the Bear Lakes Basin and then pick up the high route again over here, because you go over down Brown Bear Lake and then pick up the trail here. And then you go up Lake Italy Trail, go over Italy Pass. And then the night, I can't remember if we're on the third or fourth night, but I want to stay in Granite Park. And I think that what we can do is have the resupply meet us at Honeymoon Lake, either like the morning, the next morning, because I definitely want to camp in Granite Park. It's supposed to be like one of the most beautiful places that we'll see. And then I figured we can pick up the resupply, either like just day hike down, get set up and then go hike down and meet the resupply that night. Or we can have them like meet us in the morning and then get it over here where the Pine Creek Pass Trail picks up the Lake Italy Trail. And then we'll follow the trail down Pine Creek Pass and then come over to Moon Lake. And even though the high route goes over Puppet Pass, I think Star Pass looks really cool, like the approach going this way. So I kind of would want to do Star Pass instead of if we're coming from this direction. So that's why my original plan has us doing the whole high route section. And then after we've done the high route section, which is going over Feather Pass into Bear Basin, down. And then the high route, it continues past Lake Italy going north. So my first plan has that, Sorry, I'm a little delirious. I don't know. I'm thinking definitely fighting a cold here. Yeah. So then this point we'd have our resupply. Our packs will be kind of heavy, but that next night, like the day that we pick our resupply up, it won't be too bad of a day. Like we will have to go over Star Pass. And I'm sorry, we won't have to. Yeah, we will have to go over Star Pass. And then get back into Humphreys Basin, but I don't think it will be too terrible of a day or anything. And then that sets us up in Humphreys Basin for our big moment, which is Snow Tongue Pass, which is somewhere on this divide here. I know it's like right below the Wahoo Lakes. I think it's right here. Yeah, because then you come down this drainage and then into this lake here. And then, yeah. And then you have to go across, and this is supposed to be like the hardest part of our whole trip, is getting across this, other than Snow Tongue Pass. And then staying up in Darwin Canyon the night that we do Snow Tongue Pass. And then our last day will just be a day hike out of the Lamarck Coal Trail.